So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is an additional video of how do you do a fashion show in Blender using CLO3D's animations and you render it in Blender. I was curious, how do other creators create one, with three or four animations in a first place to show their garments in live, like a mini collection. So since I have that figured out, so just let's get started. Okay, so first things first, what you have to do is record your animation. What I have done is I have selected my animation, and let's say let's do the complete one. Okay, it's something like that. I have selected my animation, the transition is present, the animation is present. So let's record an animation with transition and without transition. I'll tell you why. If you have seen with the previous video of the Blender series, you will know that this method helps with getting your avatar textures right, getting your garment textures right. So since I don't have anything much going on with my garment, I don't need the UV step, and this is for just educational purposes. So let's get into recording the first animation. So let's get started with the recording. So the animation that I have selected for the previous video was walk in place animation. Now with this method I'll show you, with using the same method we can use n number of animations that you want to create in Blender. Okay, the fashion show with Blender. So that's why I have taken this one, which is having a longer duration, and we will see if that is rendering fast or recording fast. That's what I mean though. Okay, now the first recording with the transition is complete. So you might ask me, why do we need the transition in the first place? So if your avatar is in the pose something like this, the pose transition into the animation transition, I'm talking about these two things, will give you this smoother kind of animation with the garments. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So next thing, I want my animation to run at 30, start frame 30, and make sure your current frame is also 30, and re-record the animation without the transition. Okay, since my avatar is set to the pose on 30, I'll re-record the animation once more and I'll tell you what is the reason behind that. We have to record it two times. One is with the transition and one is without the transition. You see that it is still getting recorded. Okay, so once your recording is completed, okay, and you need to set her previous frame rate to 30 in here. Okay, and then The current frame should be on 30, the start frame should be on 30, and the end frame should be on whatever animation number you are getting. For example, I have selected the hand on waist motion, and I'll delete the transition here, and delete the comment transition, the first animation that we have done with the transition, so that these two will match, and I'll play the animation and I'll show you. So what do I mean by that? Why do we have to delete that? We are completely skipping the post transition while she's walking on the fashion show stage. So that's what we are doing. That's it. That's as simple as that. So if you see, while she is on the frame 30, she did not even transition into pose, and she did not go back into that pose. So that's what I mean by deleting the transition of the pose with animation. If that is cleared, we'll pause the animation. We have seen that the garment has no issues or holes. Please check before exporting your animation, does that have any holes or wrinkles while she's like, not wrinkles, holes, or make sure the particle distance is around 10. That is the bare minimum with the animation. So now once the animation is smooth and clear, we have to export it in two file formats as before. I mentioned in the video, like the first part of the video, where I explain how to you know import the animations into Blender. So I'll explain it to you one more time. You have to go, we will do first the Alembic ones. So first go to export Alembic, and you will see, since I have already exported, so I have a specific folder for CLO3D to Blender workflow. You can see all the other workflows that I do, they are named according to that: dash to CLO, dash work, style 3D, and all that stuff. So CLO3D to Blender workflow has four folders. One is the Blender saved files. You have to save your Blender file in one folder in your CLO3D to Blender work folder. Like create something like this folder. In that, you create four files. If you want stage, you can completely have a stage folder and garments folder, avatar folder. Since first we are tackling with garments, so let's name it as outfit 1. Okay, and I'll hit save. Now this dialog box, or configuration box, will pop up, and the file type is Ogawa. In previous versions, while you're clicking file, under the Alembic you used to file Alembic Ogawa, but with later on versions they have immersed with the file types. So you have to select unweld thin and set the scale in meters. Since your avatar is walking from here to here, you will need the entire region, not the play region. Okay, with the walking in place motion, you will need the play region. Okay, then hit OK. Let it export, it will take some time. So until then, just wait or do whatever you want. Once that is done, you will delete your garments. Okay, you have a way to get them back. I'll hit delete on the keyboard. Now we are tackling with the animation of avatar. So you go to file, you go to export and FBX, and then I will name it as animation 1. Since I have tried with one of the names here, so we will name it as animation 1, just for the education purposes. Now you'll see this one, select avatars single object unweld, include with the dialog box, this option will be unticked. Okay, you will have all this one and include scene and props and avatar animation option. You will include this and select joint. Okay, then you will set the scale to cm dash studio, because the blender and the CLO3D scaling is different. So while you are exporting to blender, you please make sure to select cm dash studio and select the entire region, as you have done the same thing with garment. So hit ok. Now our animation is exported. Now later on we'll do control Z. Okay, so that our animation is like the garment will come back but the animation will not be there. Don't get panicked over small things. So yeah, now open your blender. Okay, now if you right click anywhere on the empty screen, that window will go. And now we are going to select A and delete, press delete on the keyboard. So what will that do? It will do the deletion of the cube, light, camera. So in order to import your files, okay, what will you do? You select file, import, and first we'll tackle with the garment animation. So like go to your CLO3D blender file and go to your garments. We'll select outfit number 1. The scale should be on 1, and there is your garment. Okay, there is your garment. Now if you want to see the animation is working or not, you can see it says starting on 24 and ending on 494. So we'll play the animation. Sorry about that, it is working in reverse. I just selected this one. So play animation and see the animation is working completely fine. Okay, see, you can see that it is playing. Now let's tackle with the avatar. Okay, don't be scared when I import the avatar because it will look scary. So import file, import FBX, and you will find your CLO3D to blender avatar. Now this where the change comes in. You will have operator presets, and when you scroll down you will see the animation tab. Now there is a small down arrow here, you just click that and the animation second is set to 1. We don't want that, we want 0 in that place. Why? Because you need to match the animation with the garment. Okay, if that gets into your mind, everything is clear. And import FBX. So now you will see that, okay, I know it is a bit scary, but now look at this one. You will see this kind of horns, like thorns or something. You will go to amateur and you will turn this eye off. So that will off that skeleton. Now we will see if the animation is playing together or not. Okay, now you see that what do I mean by switching into 0 rather than 1. You need to match the animation. If you miss this step, your garment and your avatar will not going to be in sync, or they are not going to align. So hope these steps explain it to you. Since we are not able to see anything, we need to add a light. So I'll go with add. You see here, not in this section, you will see here, you will add you will have a section for this. You go to add, you go to light, and I'll select the sunlight. So how to move this thing from the ground? So you go to this toolbar over here, you select move, and you completely put it on the side. Okay, now she will be not walking in a, you know, like she's not walking in a open air, no. Now we need a stage, so I have a stage here. How you will export this thing? Okay, we need file, export. We need to export it in obj. Later on we can select. Okay, stage obj. I'll replace this one and I'll show you what are the settings for this. Okay, you will go to single object, unweld, scale meters, and save with the absolute texture. Since it is not having the texture, we don't um, we don't need that. So the file has, and hit OK, and then you go and you import the obj. Okay, wave front obj. Go to file, import, and wave front obj. Go to your dash to blender file, not dash to blender file, close to blender file, and select the stage, and you will see this one is in, you have two files here. You need the obj file, and the scale should be in 1 since we have exported it in meters, and import wavefront obj. Okay, now you might ask, why are we able to not see any texture on the avatar? Since it is because it is on the solid preview or solid display. This icon is solid display, this icon is your material preview viewport shading, and this is your render viewport shading. Since we don't have the light here, we'll select the sunlight and we'll bring it in. I hope that doesn't make sense because okay, why are we not seeing any preview though? Okay, we'll add some normal lights. You go to add, you go to spotlight, and it is on 10 watts. I'll do it on 100. Okay, yeah, or I'll delete the spot and go with area lights. It's like, it is not that important where you see this one, there are no lights. Okay, so make sure your avatar feet is on. Okay, so now we'll go to add, light, area. So what does the area lights do? Okay, you'll scale them with S, how much big light you want, and then you will set it to either 60 or 100 watts. Okay, one light does nothing, But if you want to see the preview, so see that she is walking on the stage. Since her shadows are, blunt, and we are not able to see the garment preview correctly, we'll shift D, the light. We need the light from the sides as well, no? We'll need that lighting. And we will move it until it is straight. And we'll move this light to this corner. Okay, let it be something like this. And shift D to this light, and we'll rotate it to inside so we can get some lighting going on. Arranging your lights is important. Now if you want to see the render preview of this one, I'm just fast forwarding the animation so that now you see everything is glossy. So we'll go to the animation layout, which has the dual screen from the start, and under this select, what is that, selectability and visibility, you will see the show gizmo icon, and you will see what the hell is going on in the render view. Now this is the third icon, is your render view, and don't worry if you see that thing more shiny than a thing. It could be on, like if you go to this toolbar right here under your scene collection tab, you will you will see render properties. That could be on Eve, as simple as that. So Eve is more of a friendly cycle where it doesn't impact the GPU. But if you go to cycles, it will change the look of the completely entire rendering. Now you see that, right? And this is what I'm talking about. Now as you change this thing and then you see it on the render preview, you need to go to editors type, which is the first icon, and you need to go to shade editor. Okay, now this is almost all shiny. We need to increase the roughness for the skin and the body. Now you see, while you're zooming in also, there is no uh, skin like texture available, like the shininess is not available. But if you want that shininess or dewiness in your skin, then you could increase a couple of things, like in metallic, very minimum, not way more than that. I'll put it mine on 0, and you can see the rendered preview here of the garment. And if you select the cloth one, if you select the 3D viewport here, and if you select the cloth parent, like this one, your garment, and go to shade editor, you'll click new. Since mine is not having any textures, I would like something silk to pop up on the end. So you see that, right? So I will be decreasing the roughness a bit so that it is something shiny like that. Not that much shiny though. Like, yeah. So we'll go to 3D viewport now and see how much shine is there. Like, that is the shine I want. So what I will do is I'll duplicate one more light. I'll go to area light number 2 and shift plus D, and we'll face right in front of the avatar, like the backsplash, right? This is the front splash, right? Where you can see you have to manually adjust it because this is a beginner friendly series. I'm showing it. Yup. So that is where I'm going to target. Now if you select the gizmo, it will show if it is placed in wrong direction, or it is not rotated correctly. And if you select this data, and this data thing shows the particular thing that you have selected. So don't get panic if you have selected and this particular icon is gone. Don't panic. And then instead of 60, I'll do it around 80 or 90 in order to get more light from the front, and I'll go to the more warmer tone. Okay, if you see what do I mean by that. And I'll place it somewhat higher. Now you will see how it is going to impact your garment. And if you're feeling that it is a bit crossed, you can arrange it. Yup. So that is what I was talking about. You can move these lightings too if you want a closer visual of the garment from the sides. You can move them. Select this light just a bit lower than what we envisioned, and select this and just bring it inside. We don't have a backlight though, so that is why it is looking plain. So what will I do is I'll select this light, shift D, and I'll select it to the back. So while you're selecting and everything is going on, do you see it? Yes, now you can do it. Yup. But the light is facing there, no? You have to rotate it. The dramatic shadow will be there. If you want to see is it correctly placed or not, we need to move it more downwards so that it is placing on her. Yup. So with textures, everything, this will be working. In the next part of the video, we are going to be seeing how to add the camera while you're using this stage, and how many angles can we do it with this type of stage. So yep, hope this helps. And you can see there are no distortions in this one. And if you want to change your garment color also, you can change it. I'll show you how. You go to shade editor. Now see, you this is having a base color. Since we are not having any texture going on the particular garment right here, what I'll do, I'll just select the black so that it is able to see the reflection. You see that. And I'll go back to 3D viewport. Now you can see. The key is lighting, shadows, how many harsh shadows are falling on your garment, how the fold is going, like you see that. That's it. Now do till here we will be seeing how to add cameras and how to record your video in the next part. Since it is already a lengthy session, we have done it till here. You will save file, save as tutorial, like minus on tutorial part 1. I'm saving it as part 1, so you don't have to. So like do till here and save the file of whatever kind you want, and my file is saved. Thank you. Hope you had fun with this tutorial.